Once upon a time, in modern lands labeled the West, many maidens of different ethnicities, shapes, and sizes sojourned the land. As these modern women canvass the landscape seeking out Prince Charming, they have compiled unrealistic expectations. Alas, the maidens of modernity require their Prince Charming to be above average height, muscular, protective, and most of all rich. He must, due to his position of their mental capacity, have a McMansion that replaces the castles of old, a custom luxury vehicle in the place of his steed, and an office overlooking the city as a show of his high earning status. For Prince Charming, after all, must prove that he is this new archetype known as the high value man. The maidens of this land, many that are practical, must contend with the absence of their male counterpart due to the vast that are delusional. When the few who happen to find a handsome prince open their mouths, Prince Charming is inclined to forgo any semblance of that united institution, which would obviously strip him of any hint of any of his hard work. Here, Prince Charming has found himself at a loss for women. Instead of accepting his masculine ways, such as opening doors, assisting with heavy objects, and showering his beloved with unrequited love, he is unfortunately greeted with picky maidens. The high maintenance list of where he's allowed to take them and how much he is required to spend is overwhelming. In this precarious situation, then, Prince Charming, if he thinks to ever enter into betrothal, must find the fairest of them all, a suitable lady that doesn't relegate him to a mythical status, care to use him as a trophy to quench her lingering low self-esteem, or to worry that one wrong move could cause him to be unalived. And in this land where the majestic eagle flies, where women of many dialects and diverse backgrounds will live unhappily ever after with a house filled with cats, or wander aimlessly in search of the myth which has rolled off into the sunset. Or perhaps they'll continue to act as if the prince will indeed come to their rescue, until they have reached the age of 40 plus and realize that their archetype was only in their mind. I want to thank again the channel GTM Now. That's Get That Money Now with Mr. Richard Burns, because he is the catalyst for this series. Y'all caught my satire that's kind of serious, right? See, here's the thing. I don't care too much to speak on the manosphere or the woman's sphere, but I'm going to, or if there is a woman's sphere, but we know there's a manosphere. Here's the thing about this. There is some truth in what I say, and I'm pretty sure there's some women who are going to agree with me. See, y'all are out here living these fairy tales of something that is not real. And the thing is with fairy tales, and the problem with Prince Charming, is that you all have suffocated him long time ago with your demands. And see, this is where I have a problem. And I have to differentiate between a daddy's girl and a girl dad. Because see, your daddy's girl That dad is still a masculine man who will tell you the realistic thing of what it is to get in a relationship, the flaws. And he will break down why happily ever after will not always be happily ever after, and how even if you get married, you have to live with that person past that one day. The wedding, while you think you're being a queen or a princess that day, is a pretense and a show if you don't grasp the concept of for better or for worse when looking for a partner. See, the girl dad is delusional with the happy wife, happy life stuff. And he never tells you what happens when your husband isn't happy. He only postures you to be constantly happy at someone else's expense. And people can tell me that the two things are the same. They are not. Now, here's the thing about the realism of that satire. Even if you get this man who is 6 foot tall, can give you a $500K engagement ring, and sits at the high tower atop it and makes millions of dollars, several scenarios people seem to miss. Things that are out of Prince Charming's control. If he loses that 6, 7, 8 figure job, not of his own will he be good enough for you then? If he goes out here, has an accident, and then gets paralyzed, maimed, or he's temporarily down, are you willing to play caregiver to him? If he so happens to have an accident and his face gets disfigured and he's no longer as good looking as Mr. Charming is, will you stick by him then? And one of the ones that's the likely scenario, when he gets flustered, when he gets an attitude, when you have a minor fight, are you going to stay there and work it out with Prince Charming, or are you going to hightail it and run because your fairy tale is falling apart? See, the thing with modern parents is, and in this fourth wave of feminism, is that you need to tell your daughters that these lists that they're making of where a man should take them, and then some other high maintenance list, I forgot what it's called, came out, that when you show your face, Prince Charming already knows who to run away from. See, that archetype is changing with the times. Prince Charming isn't coming for all of you anymore, because he's tired of having to buy you Birkin bags instead of being substance. He's tired of you wanting to ride in his car just to show off, when if you saw him on the street and didn't know he was rich, you wouldn't give him the time of day. He is tired of your material substance and your nightmaric dream that you created. The archetype, the lie that you live past your childhood. Because again, all women want something in a man, at least in heterosexual relationships, to aspire to. But what are you actually aspiring to? And see, the problem is, as the economy gets bad and Prince Charming is few and far between, it's gonna be harder to get that kind of man. So you better take him off his high horse and off his pedestal and go out here and get real based on your expectations, and look at yourself in the mirror for real and get over this fairy tale. Don't care who this offends. All right, thanks. Bye.